All right, we're here. We're live, ready to talk about some football, which we were already doing in our little pre-session here. Um, Hang on a second, because I can't hear you guys for some reason.
About meow.
Okay, yeah. Now I think we're good. All right, sorry about that. Anyways, we are here for talking about Week 11. Had a few good games. Um, I think one of the ones that I wanted to just hit on real quick was the Lions absolutely trashing the Jags. 52-6. 645 total yards. Goff had a perfect rating once again. Was 412 with 4 touchdowns. Wait, now I can't hear Jesse.
Yeah, he's muted on my shit too. Can you
Yeah,
still hear me?
back out and I'll. Yeah, I can still hear you. Back out and I'll bring you back in. Uh, I'm not really sure what's happening with the audio, but you know. Anyways,
We're
yeah,
not
Jared
being paid a
Goff,
salary
perfect
of
again.
zero for this. Come on now.
Yeah. All right, waiting for him to come back in. I'm gonna try to find another spot to do this. It's been annoying the last like 2 weeks. Not really sure why.
Yeah. Let's decorate a little bit more here.
Yeah, I have all of Mara's dresses on a hanger behind me. Big stuff,
There you go.
big stuff. If Jesse gets back in here. Ooh, wrong one. There you are. Can we hear you now? There we
I
can
don't
hear
know.
you
Can
now.
you hear me?
Yes. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. All right.
Yeah, boy.
Sorry about that. Now that we're all fixed up. Uh, yeah, so yeah, the Lions just absolutely shit on the Jags.
Doug Peterson still employed Hal, but
Clearly, they're
He
waiting it
will
out at
be.
this point. But
I think, like, I've been kind of saying that, like, I think he might just retire at the end of the year anyway. So they're
I mean, he's
probably
not
just
that old
like,
to just retire. But
well,
well, I think
uh,
mutually
I think
agree
I've
to part
seen.
ways. I'm sure.
yeah,
I think he's in the last year of his deal, regardless.
yeah, he is. I'm pretty sure. So they're just rolling with it.
Has he really been the
Uh,
Jags coach for that long? I feel like, I guess maybe it's year
it's been,
3.
yeah,
I feel like that's not that long for a coaching contract. But
yeah. Has been a few years for him. In other news, the in the Giants quarterback room, Daniel Jones got benched, and not only did he get benched, he was shoveled down to the bottom of the pile. He's even below their practice squad quarterback, Tim Boyle, on the old depth charts.
I didn't know that. I know they put
Yeah,
him, but I knew they put him behind Drew Lock. I did not know
yeah,
he's Tim Boyle's back.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
He's
How far the
basically
never
like
mighty have
emergency
fallen.
quarterback territory.
well, yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
I
because
think
they don't.
they would actually probably play Dable at quarterback before they would play Jones at quarterback at this point.
There's a chance of that, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the old Russell Wilson thing last year with the Broncos. They don't want to pay him his like injury clause in case he gets like if he gets hurt, then they're going to owe him a bunch of money. So that's why he's just they're just making
Yeah.
sure it's absolutely impossible for him to get hurt. He ain't even going to be practicing for them.
Yeah.
We did the same thing with Carr. I mean, he was
Mhm.
benched, so yeah, this is just
That's what it
Yeah, what
is.
a weird thing. I feel like that's a new thing that's been happening with these contracts that teams are just
well, because
like sitting people down on the
people are
bench.
people are smart, and now that the players have more leverage in the market, the injury clauses for these big contracts where it's like, hey, even if I could slip in the shower tomorrow and you owe me $180 million or whatever the fuck it is. So these teams are like, nope, you're going to sit your ass at home. Like, we don't even want you on like the facility property in case you stub your toe or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of
I do
crazy. I
love
wonder how.
I mean, Jalen Hurts literally isn't even allowed to golf in his contract. So
that is a fucking travesty. I can tell you that right there.
I think it's a purely during season thing, but
yeah.
Wow.
I do.
It's not like physically in the contract, but it's like an agreement between him and Jeffrey Lurie, so it might as well be in the goddamn contract.
Yeah.
Just proves the point that they're just like, yeah, you're not allowed to do anything.
Yeah, don't go anywhere or do anything.
I just love somebody, I think I sent it to the group chat, the meme from The Dark Knight Rises. It was like John Mara asking Brian Dable who's starting next Sunday. Joker slides down the money and then stands up and goes, "Where's the Italian?"
I can't believe they're trotting him out there. I'd play Drew Lock over him, but
yeah.
I don't know. He actually, like, if you look at his stats from last year, he didn't play horribly, but he's not.
I think they won a game and made everyone excited.
Come on, are you going to play Drew Lock? Are you going to play Drew Lock, or are you going to play fucking Tommy fucking DeVito, the kid from Jersey, and he's a New York Giant? I mean, your season's already lost. Generate some, ticket sales and some buzz and some interest. Start the hometown boy, whatever.
I would be interested to know how much a New York Giants home ticket actually is. It can't be much.
Oh, I'll bet you if Tommy Cutlets is back out there this week, I guarantee you that those motherfuckers, they're through the fucking roof. I guarantee you.
I have no idea. Yeah,
I'm cool with the Italians. It's all right, yes.
I'll tell you, the Steelers game, the Steelers-Browns game is like not. It's in Cleveland, and the tickets are like nothing.
That's because it's the Browns.
Yeah, so can't imagine what the Giants are making off that game.
Come on, it's only in Cleveland.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he was demoted to QB4. He is. They're like, we don't even want you like at the facility most days, please. It's pretty crazy. But let me see what else I had here for other games. The Jets lost to the Colts. Shocker.
Sure did. Jets were favorited too.
27-28. I don't know how the Jets were ever
They keep being favorites over, like, I'm pretty sure the past 2 weeks they've been a favorite.
You would think that stops this week. Like,
I don't know who they're playing off the top of my head. So,
who's that wide receiver that got traded there that wanted to go play with his buddy, but now his buddy, Woody Johnson, wants to bench, and they're not going to bring him back next season. What's that fucker's name again?
Yeah,
Alan Lazard. Randall Cobb.
Rings a bell, but no.
We're not there yet.
No, I'm just being a dick, and we know who I'm talking about. But and I get it, like, not to go on a little rant real quick, like, about my Raiders, but I get it. Like, we fucking suck. Like, whatever. You might not have wanted to ride it out, or there might have been friction with AP, but you literally forced a trade to the fucking New York Jets. And within how many weeks of him being there, look what the fuck it's just a complete dumpster fire. Like, I would argue that they are in worse shape than we are. So, I don't know. Good job, bro.
I'm not sure that I really understand why they're so bad either. Like, I don't know. Like, they were playing better when Saleh was the coach. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. Like, clearly they shouldn't have fired him.
Fucking yeah. Rodgers forced him out. That's why. And now they're, stuck with that interim dude. And yeah, they have all the talent in the fucking world. I mean, Rodgers isn't even like that.
Fell off a literal cliff. Have you seen the memes of like what happened to Sauce Gardner? He has literally done like actually fuck all this season.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think for them a lot of it is just pure dysfunction from the top down. I think
I'm
it's
just curious as to why, like, Woody Johnson supposedly wanted to bench Rodgers, like, earlier in the year, according to
Yeah, I
the
saw
report that came out today. I'm just like, interesting. So clearly he thinks that Rodgers is the problem, but yet to the outside, it just looks like Rodgers is running the goddamn team. And the only way he's allowed to run the team is if he lets him run the team. So
yeah,
it doesn't really make a ton of sense. So clearly,
And
no
I
one
would
knows
ar-
what the
I
hell's
would-
going on.
I would argue that Rodgers isn't even the fucking problem. I mean, we've seen it. Not to continue dick riding him because I am in his fan club firmly. But you got Sam Darnold away from New York, and I mean the fucking Vikings are 9-2 now or whatever they are.
yeah.
Not a great.
I think it's just I can tell you firsthand from a similar but not as shitty franchise. It usually starts at the ownership level, and it's just a trickle down effect. And Woody Johnson's a fucking idiot, and this is just what you
Yeah,
get.
it's like, does he understand football? Does he just buy a team just for shits? And he's just like, you know what? I'll figure it out along the way.
Yeah, and he's one of these guys that instead of hiring people and putting them in the correct place under him to make those decisions for him, he's completely involved in the day to day and the blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you know, a la, you know, you see how well it's working in fucking Jerry world. So
Yeah. Yeah, they are an absolute disaster. Yeah, you can't go lose to the Colts and Anthony Richardson. I mean, I don't know. I say that, and the two Steelers losses have come from the Colts and the Cowboys.
Right.
that is a little bit of irony there.
Yeah,
Some might call you a hypocrite.
it's weird. How
Yeah,
are those the
just
two games
before
we've
we
lost?
stop burying the Jets, though, Zach Wilson and who the hell was their other quarterback recently? I can't even remember. Zach Wilson and who? Who was the other quarterback?
Mike White.
It might have been Mike White.
Yeah,
Whoever it
Mike
was,
White.
both have a higher winning percentage than Aaron Rodgers currently. So not great.
Yeah, he's
That is an excellent stat. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that.
That's tough. Yeah, I don't know. The Jets have some real problems. They're pretty much just don't even bother watching another one of their games this whole season. No reason to.
Well, the only reason, and you'll see it on SportsCenter, just catch it because Devontae will be throwing his helmet on the sideline and throwing.
Yeah,
a fit
well,
here
yeah,
soon.
that's true. He will start throwing fits, I bet. Him and Rodgers will yell at each other on the sideline, and everybody
I'm
will
not
see
even
it.
sure that he even like cares that much. Honestly, he's probably just like, you know what, I'm just here for my guy.
Yeah, he's literally. I mean, like, what is he gonna do next year? Like, you're just gonna wait and
Well, it's not
follow
only
Rodgers around? I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I honestly, that might be what he fucking does. Just be like, hey, buddy, we're both out of here because I think Devontae's deal was expiring anyhow, or he only had 1 year left. Like after this season is over, so yeah,
There's
he's
no
going
way
to be
they
trading.
extend him. So
No.
And that's going to be some fucking team's going to be stupid enough for the cap space to be like, and Rodgers will walk in there and be like, I run this shit and package deal. You got to trade for him, which you could probably trade a box of milk duds for what he's worth at his age. And yeah, literally, you can just have him.
I'm trying to think what that team would be off the top of my head. Like, what is the other dumbest organizations in the NFL?
Giants.
Cowboys.
Panthers. Cowboys.
But I guess they have Dak, so they won't. Even Jerry's not that stupid. But
can we just, for the sake of, we don't have to argue about it, but just leave my team out of it for my sake.
You know,
they didn't come
like,
to my
let's just pretend they don't exist for this conversation.
Steelers Twitter came out with like some headline today of some idiot saying that the Steelers seem like a great landing spot for Daniel Jones next season. I'm like,
gotta get your guy.
Dude, it has been all over Steelers. Somebody posted this article, and like all these people on Twitter are just like, "Who gave this man the right to speak? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?"
They're gonna get Russ on a sweetheart deal because he's at the end of his rope anyhow. Like, why would they fucking trade?
We're probably keeping both of them. I think we'll just probably end up with Justin Fields and Russell next year.
That'll be interesting because I know in order for you guys to keep Fields, you have to pick up his 5th-year option, which is pretty expensive. So if they pay Russ and pick up his 5th-year option, that's a lot of money in 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Well, Russ is just going to do what Ben did for years. They'll just give him like a fat signing bonus or something and pay him fucking crumbs just to
Yeah, and
keep.
through the season he makes like 900K. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
it helps
and-
when the Broncos are paying him to play for you guys currently. So
And isn't like Ben did a lot of that shit where it was like a big signing bonus or whatever it was, and then it was all just like incentive laced the whole way through the season,
Yeah.
where it was just like more bonuses on top of it, where
Yeah.
it's like, and they're going to do that for Russ, where it's like, oh, make the Pro Bowl 500K, and divisional round, you know, whatever.
Yeah. Throw like a really like low high
For-
average that they would get. Throw 4 touchdowns. There's $1 million.
He's allowed one sandwich a day for free at any per Manny's during the season.
Yeah.
That's going to be his salary.
Yeah, we're paying him like a whopping 1.2 million this year. Well, the Broncos are just shooting him off a check for like 2 mil every week.
I mean, we all, to be honest, and it hurts me to say as a Raider fan, we all sat around and were like, yeah, you drafted Bo Nix, like you got rid of Russ when he wasn't the issue. Sean Payton, you're a fucking idiot. And my life just continues to be a living hell.
well, that's why he's good, Jace, because solely for you.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm sad.
Speaking of, the Broncos crushed the Falcons this week.
I
yeah, I got real.
mind.
I got real issues here, folks. This is getting bad.
Bo Nix, I think he's good. I mean, I think he's like gonna be good.
I have a bold take, and I will explain it
Okay.
once I'm done with it. I think when it's all said and done, Bo Nix is going to end up like he's going to be good to the point where him and Justin Herbert, when their careers are both finished, you're not even going to be able to mention Herbert in the same breath.
Yeah.
It's possible.
And
I mean, he's been pretty good.
That's not and I say that because it's not a condemnation of Herbert's arguably one of the best pure talents the game's ever seen, just from a fucking athleticism and an arm talent standpoint. But the Chargers are just cursed, and they're going to find a way to fuck it up every time, or somebody's going to get hurt at the worst possible point. The Broncos, at least, you know, I mean, they kept Peyton's old ass fucking stuck back together with popsicle sticks and I don't know what else to hobble him out there game after game to go win a fucking Super Bowl. So
Yeah, their defense carried him in that Super Bowl for sure. But they made
And
it work
we
somehow.
have
I
a
mean,
defense again.
no
Our
argument
defense
there,
looked good
but
this year.
well, yeah, fucking Peyton was a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest. But yeah, Peyton, if you take Bo Nix and like swap them out right now on that Super Bowl run, they would probably beat every team by like 6. Whereas like Peyton could barely waddle out of the pocket to maybe throw a ball that was doing this in the air 15
it
yards
was
to
bad.
somebody.
I remember he couldn't throw like longer than
It
20
was-
yards. Yeah.
It was pitiful. Like I was like, dude, I hope you win a Super Bowl just so you can just retire.
Hang
Like, get the
well,
fuck out of here.
For sure. I actually did see, though, that currently Bo Nix has like the best stats out of all the rookie quarterbacks. That includes Jake Daniels and Caleb Williams. So,
Oh yeah, he's very much
and
on
no
his
one's.
way to
I don't feel like they're
rookie.
talking about him either. Like, I get that he's on the Broncos, and everyone just kind of
Well-
thinks that they're like not as relevant. But
That's especially impressive when you consider we were all making jokes in the memes about, and I think they were, can't remember if they were even still winning the games or not, but what, didn't he have like fucking, it was like something ridiculous, like 37 yards passing or something?
Oh yeah, he did have a game like that.
Yeah,
yeah,
he
he,
did. I think it was
did
against,
have
he's
like one
gradually-
game they had like 80 yards.
Yeah, he's gradually gotten better with each game, but like it's been like a progression. It's been a slow march. So the fact that that's a good point, Jesse. Like the fact that he's ahead of those guys that we've been talking about, you know, frothing at the mouth over, he had like a fucking, you know, basically gave them all a 5-second head start out of the gate and had to catch up. And now he's ahead.
Yeah.
the situation that he's in like helps a lot too. I wouldn't say they're like have the best offensive talent, but he has like good coaching around him, which I think really makes the big difference. That's why Caleb Williams is struggling so much.
Yeah, that is one thing that they do actually have coaches over there this year. So they do have that going for them.
They do have a really good running back room too. Like nobody who's really going to like blow you away, but that's a rookie quarterback's best friend is just being able to just turn around and hand it off.
Yeah.
And you got two guys that can, I think, Javante and McLaughlin, they could both fucking handle 20 carries a game.
Yeah, let me see here. Broncos schedule coming up. Let's see. Okay, so they play the Raiders this weekend.
That's a win.
Raiders, Browns.
That's a
It's
win.
divisional.
Right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Raiders, Browns, Colts.
They could win all three of those.
Yeah, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs.
They could probably go like 4-2 in that stretch easily.
I think my personal opinion is that I think that the Broncos might get the 7 seed.
Oh yeah,
I wouldn't be
odds
surprised.
favorite, I think that entire division's going to make the playoffs except for the Raiders. So
Yeah, I agree.
I was correct about that. I said we would have 3 teams from the AFC West, but I was like, the Broncos are gonna fucking stink. And
the wrong team in there.
Everybody hurts. Anyhow.
Yeah, so I think the Broncos could round out the season on a nice little streak, and I think they're gonna hit the playoffs.
They'll probably knock out the 2 seed somehow, just for parity or something.
Would honestly
knock out the Bills.
That would be
no, they would play us, and they would somehow knock us out.
Yeah, I could see it, like I could.
That's how much I hate the fucking Chiefs. Is like it's like a cardinal sin, and I think even my father, who taught me that rule, would disobey it. Just be like, if it was the Chargers or the fucking Broncos against the Chiefs, like I will fucking bolt up or fucking giddy up, whatever the fuck you want me to do. Just for the love of God, for 60 minutes, I'll be your ally, Bo Nix. Just get rid of Kermit and fucking Kelsey, please.
Yeah.
You mean you don't have an Elway jersey buried in the closet somewhere?
You watch your fucking mouth. I said for one game for 60 minutes, don't get things messed up here. Just like you've got a fucking Strahan jersey somewhere, right? Or an Eli jersey.
Yeah, I definitely do.
You disgust me.
Okay, so some of the other stuff to touch on from last week. The Seahawks beat the 49ers 20-17. Geno looked pretty decent.
I thought Purdy was elite.
Yeah.
Scotty,
they have Christian McCaffrey back. They're supposed to just
they're just supposed to
steamroll the rest of the season straight to the Super Bowl, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Behind who my father calls the best blocking quarterback in the league for that one play he made.
Yeah. So that was always nice to see the Niners lose. Fuck the Niners.
I think they're cooked. Like somebody else is going to win that division, in my opinion. But
100%, I agree.
Yeah, I think people have started to figure out Shanahan.
I almost
it's not like
think
that, but they're decimated with injuries too. Which
that is a good point.
That division.
I don't really have a clue who's going to win though. Like that division, they're all like basically have the same record. I think Arizona's 1 game ahead, but they could lose to anybody any given week too. So it's kind of like, who knows?
And memory serves me, it'll be a team because like the year that we had the Beastquake, weren't the fucking Seahawks 7-9 and they still made the playoffs somehow?
Yeah, because they won their division. Yeah, they were 7-9, but they won their division. So
did they win their division, or was that the wild card?
No, they won their division, and the Saints were the wild card team that came in there, and then Marshawn.
Because everybody. You're right, because everybody was like, oh, whoever wins the Saints game or whatever has like a fucking free game in
the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could have easily like a below 500 and at 500 team win that fucking division.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not doing it just for Scotty Hurst, but history dictates if a team is going to win that, at 500 around there, go Hawks.
It is.
Yeah,
they could, but literally anybody could because they all basically have the same record. So it's gonna just who gets hot in December, or who's just less mediocre, I guess.
Wouldn't it be funny if the 49ers finished in last?
I would be.
I would love that. Fuck the Niners. They're just assholes. Like The players
Then
are
they're
just
like the
douchey.
one team that's just their players are like unbearable. But that and they're there every year, so it's just like be nice to see something a little bit different.
Something different.
Like I'd like
Somebody
to watch
else
the
to take the
Cardinals
Eagles out in the
games.
divisional.
Don't worry, I'm sure they'll take themselves out. It won't have anything to do with them.
That's the spirit.
Okay, so over on the AFC side, the Chiefs are no longer undefeated. The Bills won 30-21. It's about
Thank
time.
God.
And the worst part is if that fucking field goal in the Broncos game just doesn't get blocked, we're talking about the Chiefs losing 2 in a row. And
Well,
who
Mahomes
did
is
you
throwing a
jinx?
pick every game.
What game did you jinx this week that you said somebody had it won and they fucking missed it or something?
It was the Packers and Bears. I'm like, holy
Yeah.
shit, the Bears are about to win and they get a fucking block.
Yeah.
That literally happened to you back to back. Just don't even comment.
Like I was waiting for the
It's
Chiefs
all.
and
It's
the
literally
Packers.
you owe Broncos fans and Bears fans a personal apology.
Well, I'm just waiting for my check in the mail from the Packers and Chiefs. Like I'm clearly the reason they're winning these games. So.
Well, the Chiefs can't pay you. They got every fucking ref in the league on the payroll.
Well, yeah.
There's only so
fit so
much money
many.
the Hunt family has to go around, Jesse. Don't be fucking greedy.
Well, they did win, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is pretty much as history has always told. The Bills win in the regular season, and they will lose
in the playoffs.
So doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they broke the curse because they won't get fucked by the overtime rule now. So
It's hard to say.
let's just hope. Maybe things will be different. They won't, but we can pray.
Another interesting game was the Chargers and the Bengals. It got interesting.
I was gonna say halftime. I'm like, I'm ready to never turn this back on, but
yeah,
I did because I saw it got close.
It looked horrible. Of course, Joe Burrow and the Bengals come back. Just absolutely the worst thing ever for Joe Burrow. He's like playing out of his mind, like record-setting type of season, and they are literally they're not even going to make the playoffs. I mean, I'm pretty sure they literally need like one more loss, and they're like mathematically like just not going to.
This is actually the equivalent. Like you actually as a Steeler fan at this point, because I got to a point where like those years where Phillip Rivers would do similar shit, where just literally wrap the entire franchise organization down to the fucking people that are serving hot dogs on his back, and just this is the result.
Yeah.
Just play out of your fucking noggin, and you're just getting fucked every game. It's like Jesse said. I was asleep probably before half, and then I woke up at like middle of the third quarter. It was like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, he tried to bring him back as he does every week, and he just like I saw like the video. Did you see the video of him like after the game like hit the zeros, and he's like standing on the field, and he just takes his helmet off, and he's just like walks over to like the group of people, and he's just like walking around. He's so like sad and defeated.
Well, you have to think about how frustrating it is to be playing this well and losing every week.
Yeah.
And then I remember at his press conference, because I forget, I'm drawing a blank on their kicker's name, but he missed 2 field goals during that game. Yeah. And they're just like, what did you say to this McPherson after the game? And I was just like, nothing. Just like, damn, they are cooked.
Well, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
I mean, it's sad for him. If the Bengals were winning, he would be like firmly in the MVP conversation or like leading it. And because they're just losing these close, tight games. And then you got Jamar Chase that's like literally being there. The reporters, I can't remember the question, but they asked him something and he's like, I don't know, I guess you have to talk to fucking Zach.
Oh yeah, talk to the coach about that.
I think that coach is done.
Somebody asked like what I think it was, they were kind of asking like, what do you do in these situations to like make sure that you start winning these games? And he's like, I don't know, like ask the coach. Like I go out there and do my job, and we still lose. So.
I'm just waiting for him to be like, I don't even know why I'm playing right now. No one's paid me yet.
I'm surprised he hasn't done the Devontae and come up with the
injury.
hamstring
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
I'm surprised as well. I mean, that's what T. Higgins is doing, so.
I mean, he
only a
played
matter of
last
time.
week.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a disaster, and you do just feel bad for him. It was the after the game video for me where he just like hangs his head and just like takes his helmet off and just like there's the saddest person you've ever seen just like walking around the field shaking people's hands. It's like Jesus Christ, this poor guy.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's reminiscent for me. I know this has been like over the season, but I'll never forget the game that Rivers played with a torn ACL in that conference championship,
Mhm.
and what they lost by like a field goal or something. And that was the saddest and most remorse I will ever feel for a fucking like rival, divisional quarterback. Just like, what the fuck else could that guy have done? Like,
Yeah, right.
and that's you're watching that happen over instead of one game over several games with Burrow where he is just fucking doing it all and he's getting no help. Is that
Yeah.
defense sucks?
It's so bad. That
Like,
defense,
yeah.
like,
How is it that bad? I just don't
I don't
understand. How can you
Well,
have an offense that like you have a receiver who's getting almost 300 fucking yards in a week?
well, that's the
and,
problem is that it's so reliant on like one player.
Well,
Like,
if
you
he's
can't.
doing it, it doesn't matter. It's the
I
defense.
mean, it does at a certain point though, because if you shut him down, then what are they supposed to do?
Well, it's
I don't
working
know
for
if
now.
I don't know if it's a current stat, but how does your defense suck? And at one point, I know fucking Trey Hendrickson's leading the league in sacks. Like, what the fuck is happening? What are you doing?
I mean, that's an
seems like
individual
coaching.
accolade. It's just like it's a team. It's a team sport, and if anything tells you anything other than that, just look at the Bengals. Like, clearly they're just not.
Honestly, other than Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson, like name other Bengals defender right now.
Anyone
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
Is Eli Apple still
Off the
over there?
top, I
Wasn't he
don't
there
know.
for a minute?
Yeah, if Eli Apple's still there and what's he known for?
Yeah.
You're fucked, bro. You got two good
Getting
ends and you ain't got shit.
He's known for getting cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as a Steeler fan, fuck the Bengals. Happy to see them lose every year, but it does suck for Joe Burrow. I mean, on a human level, that blows, man.
Yeah, you're like, well, I don't have to watch him win a Super Bowl or anything, but it's like, man, that dude, that has to suck.
Yeah. And the worst part is that like that's not just like they're turning that around in like a year. I feel like whatever's going on there is like they really have to like hit on every draft pick. They're going to have to like I just don't know what they even do. They have so much money tied up in Burrow and Chase.
Well, they haven't even paid Jamar Chase yet. A lot of
I thought they did in this offseason.
No, they haven't paid him.
No.
He literally held out at the beginning.
Oh, he came back. Yeah, he did hold out. Yeah, you're right. I thought that's why he was back was because they paid him. But
no, from what I understand, like this ownership is like one of the cheapest owners, and he like refuses to like pay players. So that's a lot of the reason as to why they're lacking in talent, like probably on the defensive side of the ball. So if you're not willing to spend money, you're not going to be good. You better nail all your draft picks, otherwise.
That's exactly it. I mean, they have to, or they're going to be in rough shape for the next.
Yeah, and you can't build a defense when if you want to just keep. Obviously, we already knew that T. Higgins was. That's a formality. He's gone after this year.
There's no chance.
You literally you have to play fucking like, and I'm throwing it back here like Big 12 with like when Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts were still throwing the fucking thing around in college. You're going to have to pay Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase an inordinate amount of money to keep both of them, and then you're going to have to score 50 points a game to fucking keep yourself in it because your defense is never going to have anybody with the modern NFL salary cap unless you nail all your draft picks.
The Matt Ryan special.
Literally. And yeah, if a good draft for them, if you hit on, if they got 4 defensive starters, it would be an immediate upgrade, but you can't bring anybody else in. There's no wiggle room. There's no elbow room to do anything if you pay both of them. And I just wonder what Burrow does. And I feel like the coaching staff is going to be fucking ejected after this season.
Oh, it has to be blown up. I mean, you can't like stick with a head coach after this. Like
Yeah.
those games. Like
Just
you can't.
listen to what the players are saying. Like that. I feel like that speaks volumes on the coaching. Like I don't think there's any
Yeah,
chance he's back.
as soon as your number one, probably, arguably, possibly best receiver in the league is like, I don't know, and he's not even saying go ask coach. He's saying go ask Zach. It's like,
that feels like a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
well, yeah, that's the equivalent of when you were a little kid and you were mad behind your parents' back. It was like you called your dad by his first name. It's like,
Ooh, yeah.
What? Oh, ooh, like, but obviously that means there's something going on there.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're pretty much down at this point, which is a shame because if they had a defense, they'd be arguably one of the scariest teams in the AFC.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
If not
like
the most,
just half a defense.
Yeah. Yeah, if they were like working with like some of the like mid-tier defenses around the league, I think they'd still be like up there. They'd be like 9-2 right now, probably with the rest of them.
They would have swept the Ravens easily. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Well, that's think of what the Ravens fucking record should be right now, because the Bengals should have beat them both times.
Oh, no
both
question.
times.
And they have 4 losses right now, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens literally wouldn't be anything when the Bengals literally like should have won both of those games. Like it's inexcusable. Now we all have to deal with the fucking Ravens. Thanks, Bengals.
I don't even know that the Ravens are that good either. That's the worst part. When I'm like sitting here thinking about the games they should have lost.
Yeah.
Who did they lose to this year?
The Raiders. Or
somehow.
Not the Raiders.
Yes.
Hey, don't say somehow. Let me have one crumb of happy.
Right. My mistake.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the Steelers. But the Raiders also lost to the Steelers, so we're obviously the best team in the AFC. Just fucking with you. While we're on that, the Steelers beat the Ravens 18-16 off of Chris Boswell's toes. His little toesies got us through the end of that game. Clearly, the Steelers need to work on figuring out something in the red zone. Clearly, that's an issue.
Did you even make it to the red zone, or were you kicking field goals outside of the red zone? I don't even remember.
About half and half, I think. I think half field goals were longer, half of them were like 30-yarders.
I feel like that's a little troubling considering how bad the Ravens defense actually is, but
yeah.
Well, this is the last time I'm going to be nice to you about the Steelers, Carly, unless you shape up and start fucking being a little bit nicer to me.
Right.
I wouldn't sound the alarms. What?
I said, I just want your honest take.
Well, here we go. I wouldn't worry about, like, it's literally Tomlin knows voodoo or is like a warlock. Nothing about this makes sense other than the fact that your defense is really coming together and playing really well as a unit. Nick Herbig has come on and has played phenomenal ball. Like, every time I'm watching a Steeler game, like, he is all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
You get, like, they will just, okay, whatever. We can't get into the red zone. We're having, like, a little bit of a rough day. Boss, go out there and kick 47 field goals.
Yeah.
Or we're going to, like you did to the Raiders. Oh, TJ, just go force. Every time the Raiders are going to do something, just punch the ball
out. Yeah.
Like, it actually feels like you guys might actually be the most well-rounded team all around in the league, and it goes back to coaching. Like, it feels like to make a weird comparison, it's like from last weekend, it's almost like y'all are not to guess yet, but it's like the John Jones of the fucking NFL. Like, okay, you want to wrestle me? Well, I'm going to fucking choke you out. You want to, stand up and fight? Yeah. I'm going to literally kick you in the fucking gut, and then I'm going to knock you the fuck out. It seems like the Steelers are just prepared for any fight they get themselves into.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that, like, we've won games off of blocking 2 field goals and an extra point all in one game. We've won games off of, 2 picks that came at the absolute most clutch time. TJ, who you won't hear he'll be quiet in the first half, and then, like, when we need a clutch play, like, he actually is the player that shows up and makes the play. grabbing Derrick Henry in the backfield when they're trying to like do anything, run the clock and stuff like it's just crazy. Like he was so clutch in that game. Peyton Wilson is looking fantastic. Johnson that we got from the Panthers, he's been looking great. Like all the guys that we picked up in the offseason are just outshining expectations massively. Like they're all making plays when they need to make them. It's crazy.
And what does that all go back to? It goes back to fucking just out coaching the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that, like, I mean, Tomlin has outcoached Harbaugh his entire career, so that's nothing new. But you know,
well, you don't even have to talk about Harbaugh. Like, just the way y'all have just scrapped and just clawed. Like, I mean, how many times there's been like, oh yeah, they're gonna fuck this up, or they're gonna lose this, and you just managed to just do enough.
It is.
I'm not saying it's a lack of talent at all, but I'm saying the elite level of coaching is definitely, you know, it's 70-30 coaching. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then, you know, we just have the Steelers fans that for years have been saying to just throw Tomlin to the side. He's trash, you know. He's so mediocre. He just goes 8-8 every year, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well,
you guys do have 8 wins, so there's still time. There's hope for them.
Yeah, they could just start losing everything. You never know.
Yeah. See, that's, as a Steeler fan, over the last few years of watching this team and what a fucking trash bin they've been, like, right now, I still don't feel comfortable at all. Like,
that's the correct way to be.
And it's just like, I am consistently just like surprised every week when we show up and like the team is actually good. We are coming back from like our fuck ups. Like we fuck up in the game and we managed to overcome that. Like these are things that have not happened for us in like the last 5-6 years probably.
So let me ask you this: on a scale of 1 to 10, how worried are you about the Browns tomorrow?
I plead the fifth.
Browns money line.
No, I don't. I'm obviously not that worried about it, but it is like
being
one of those things. You never know with a division game, so.
You are being smart because, you know, we are talking up the Steelers an awful lot. The year that y'all started 11-0, you got boat raced by the Browns at home in the first round.
Yeah.
So nothing's ever a certain thing. But as of this very moment in time, still looking very good.
I mean, the thing is too is like when that 11-0 season was happening, I just remember being like, you know, win's a win. Somehow we keep winning these games and just feeling like, wow, we're just like falling into all these wins. And like, if we get it together at the end of the season, you know, and actually become like a decent team, because like, I think everybody knew, like we won so many games on like weird shit, like crazy endings and stuff like that we just somehow just kept winning them. Like you never felt confident. And that's the difference with this year is it's like, we keep winning the games because the team is coming back and winning the game. And like, you know, we're winning the game. We're not happening to fall into it like we did in that season. So it's definitely a different feeling. It's very strange as a Steelers fan after the last few years of being like, oh, this is definitely the week that this is just all going to fall apart, isn't it? You know?
I don't know, Jesse, I'm going to call bullshit because she's saying that she's, you know, approaching this with all this cautious optimism. I didn't see anything but just full-blown fucking homerism in my goddamn living room last Sunday.
Did George Pickens score
I was watching a game.
What's that?
Yeah, listen,
did George Pickens score a touchdown?
He literally had one in his hands.
I forgot all about that. Wait a minute. You're not the host for a second. After many weeks of our touchdown parlay failing and deliberation, the one person who claims to be the fucking, you know, and I will give her credit, the best gambler this football season. You know, I'm the be all end all, the alpha and the omega, blah blah blah. Me, my dear father, and my co-host here, not named Carly. All three got our touchdown scorers. And this motherfucker had the balls to go, I hate to be a homer, but I'm going to take George Pickens.
Steeler.
Listen.
Literally, you still owe me. Where's my cash app for $600?
It was
Where's my cash app for $600?
The Ravens trash secondary. Like, how ridiculous of a pick was that? It caught a touchdown the last 3 weeks.
Yes.
Every
but
week. And he had one
No,
thrown to him. He was defended, and it was knocked out of his hands.
I feel like there should be
I don't want to hear it.
with these parlays. You just don't pick someone on your favorite team. I've yet
I
to
agree
pick
with
an
that.
Eagle to
Well, no,
score a
that's
touchdown.
bullshit. Because I was gonna fucking pick Brock Bowers because I actually really thought, and he ended up with fucking like 140 receiving yards and a touchdown.
If you would have picked him, he would have done nothing.
You don't know that.
I mean,
I might. I'm picking a tight end this week. I don't give a fuck what you guys say.
Darnell Washington. There you go.
Great.
Hey, if the Oracle who lives downstairs picked him, I don't know if I'm going to pick against that.
Yeah. You know what? It's worth my $5.
Well, he's 10-1, so yeah, whatever parlay you build, I hope it's worth your $5.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Pittsburgh plays Cleveland this week. Obviously, it's a division game. You've never want to feel too cocky or anything like that. I don't think many Steeler fans are feeling too cocky still. Like I said, I think
Twitter and see how high
well, yeah, that's
well, I mean, that's the worst of the worst. I mean,
yeah.
If they lose this game, the Mike Tomlin people are going to be
oh my god, yeah, they'll be back. They'll be back. They haven't said much all year, but they'll be back.
I actually, as somebody who has no horse in the race, like if I see that shit, I'm gonna be like, especially on Twitter, you have to start it out as a Raider fan. You're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot.
You are dumb as shit. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Go crawl back into whatever hole you crawled out of in Munhall, or like just stop it.
Yeah, this is a somewhat interesting game. I think because like Jameis Winston had a good game last week, so he's due for his every other week bad game. So
I would argue that. I mean, they did get blown out last week, so
yeah.
I don't know what his stat line was.
His stats weren't bad.
Okay.
But yeah, so the money line is obviously in Pittsburgh's favor. A total of 36.5. I think they learned their lesson after putting that Ravens-Steelers game at like 48.5. So they're like, we're knocking that down like 12 points.
I forgot all about that. Because the sick thing is I didn't bet on it either way, but I remember looking at that and being like, because everybody, and I think ourselves included, we were like, well, that could be like, kind of like the double jinx where it's Ravens Steelers and it's a divisional game, so it should be low scoring, but they might just light it up, and then Chris Boswell kicks 6 field goals.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like most Steeler fans would have said that would be the score, though. Like,
actually,
literally, if you look back, like there's like one game where it was like in the 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Like in the last like 10 times we've played them.
There's only one thing you can do tomorrow night. Now you have to bet the over.
Yeah.
Jameis 3+ touchdowns.
Yeah.
Done.
Right.
Oh, I'll take Jameis 475 plus. Just give it to me.
475.
Just it'll buck the trend. I swear. No, not 475, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Kirk Cousins playing the Bucs, so no.
Because it just seems, especially over unders and stuff, it just feels like this year every time, ourselves included, and even people on TV, like the so-called experts, not the real experts like us, always seem to do that where it's like, oh yeah, they could buck the trend here, and blah blah blah, and they'll be wrong either way. Where they think the under is going to hit and it fucking clears by like the end of the first quarter, or by the time you're halfway through the second quarter, you're like, there's no fucking way both teams score 44 points. Absolutely. So we're going to trick ourselves and take the over.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's take a look at some of these games for next week.
I'm glad you're with me, team captain.
I've got this open.
My co-host is back here.
All right. So some of the games for next week that we're looking at, obviously tomorrow, the Steelers and Cleveland play. Let's see what else we have on here. Oh, we have Kansas City. They got a tough one coming up. Hopefully they can keep it together after their loss. They're playing the Panthers.
Wouldn't you shit? Wouldn't you shit though?
I hope that's like some sort of like
Where's it at?
reverse voodoo happens. It is in Carolina.
Oh, no, I mean, there's no
Well,
way now. But
Now, I
have
will
you seen
never
Bryce Young
wish.
play?
I will never wish injury on anybody, but this would be the game where like they let the Panthers hang around a little bit, and then Mahomes gets hurt like some inexplicable fucking way.
Yeah.
Inexplicable.
Yeah. No, yeah,
What
the Chiefs are an
exactly did that?
11-point favorite.
You know what it means.
No, I'm officially old enough, and now that my back hurts, I'm past that age where I wish that on anybody. Like if that shit hurts, like I know that, and I don't, that's going to be the first thing out of any Chiefs fan's mouth is even if Mahomes misses like 2 weeks, and then they don't win in the divisionals because they're the yappiest motherfuckers on earth right now. It's because Patrick wasn't 100% or
Right.
Yeah.
If anybody's ever 100% playing in the NFL,
really.
everyone's dealing with something.
Yeah, it's kind of odd looking at the slate here for Sunday. Like, a lot of the afternoon games are just not good. Like, we have
That
Tampa
sounds
Bay,
about right.
Giants,
All two of them?
Detroit, Colts, Tennessee, Houston, New England, Miami, Dallas, Washington, Minnesota, Chicago,
That'd be
Kansas City, Carolina are all the 1 o'clock games.
God.
Yeah, but it does get better. The 4 o'clock games are actually half decent.
There's 4 o'clock games?
Yeah, there are 3.
Wow.
But it's San Francisco and Green Bay, and then Arizona and Seattle, which I think Arizona-Seattle should be a pretty good game. That's going to be one of those that means a lot for both teams. Both teams are really going to want it.
Am I insane? Is the Arizona Seattle game just the automatic? Don't even look at the number, just take the over.
Yeah,
Probably.
I'm curious what it is.
DK Metcalf
47.5.
Yeah, and DK Metcalf over whatever his yards is.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr.'s have to be set at like fucking 2 since they're not throwing it to him.
I already know my touchdown score is James Conner this week, so
there you go. Yeah, there's that, and then Denver and Las Vegas play in the 4 o'clocks. But yeah, so there's Arizona and Seattle, San Francisco and Green Bay, which I don't. That should be a decent game, but I mean, I think the Arizona-Seattle game is going to be the one to watch.
They'll both be good, I think. But
it was nice playing in Miami last week, so I could get my sadness out of the way at 1 o'clock. Now I have to wait until 4.
Oh, yeah. Just watch.
Then, especially around here, it's fucking dark by the time the game's over too. So I'm sad about the Raiders, and I look outside, and then I have to go back to work.
Just
nothing matters. Everything hurts.
Yeah, and then the night game on Sunday is Philadelphia and the Rams. That should be an interesting game. What are you thinking about that? What's your confidence level here, Jesse?
I mean, if we're being realistic, they're significantly more talented than them, which I can say every week, which is just a cop-out. But, I mean, they should win the damn game, honestly. Will they? Who knows? Because God only knows what you're going to get out of my boy Sirianni.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, the Rams are pretty up and down anyway. They literally just lost to they beat the Patriots, but they lost to the Dolphins somehow the week before. And let's be honest, Miami's been hot garbage all year, even with Tua back. So it's really hard to tell. I kind of feel like their offensive line is still hot garbage, which is going to be a massive problem for them against us. So,
yeah.
But if Stafford gets cooking, then I don't know. No one's been getting cooking against our defense of late, which is just hard for me to comprehend after the past couple of years of watching them play.
Well,
on defense,
whoever Quinion Mitchell's on, just don't even fucking bet on them. Jesus fucking Christ.
It'll be Puka, so steer clear because Cooper Kupp will probably play in the slot. But Cooper DeJean's in the slot, and he's been just as good. So
yeah.
I don't know what the answer is for the Rams on that one. They could shut them down. I mean, Quinyon's been shutting down the number one receiver every single week.
Let's just settle in and think about that for a second. A white man is a shutdown slot corner. It's 2024. There is no.
He's been playing so good.
For the cancel culture, there are no racial undertones or anything being implied by that whatsoever. That is just actually fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I mean, the exciting whites will hopefully show up again, just like last week.
Right.
I love What did him and fucking Blankenship show those fucking shirts? The
Yeah.
Fantastic Whites or something
Yeah.
like
Exciting whites.
Exciting
Yeah.
whites.
Exciting Whites.
Apparently,
Yeah.
somebody
It's like a
sent
meme
that to
about
them.
wine.
Yeah, somebody sent those shirts to them just in the mail. So they're like, well, yeah, we'll wear these. Fuck it. So now it's just a thing. But yeah, it's literally if you go into a liquor store and into like the white wine, it's literally a sign in the liquor store. Exciting whites. That's where it comes from.
Exciting White. Yeah. I actually, now that I know that somebody just sent them those shirts, and
Yeah.
they're like, there has to be like, and again, like a white safety and then a white dude at corner. Like they got to be like, bro, there's only two of us. Like,
Yeah, we are
boys.
the only one.
They gotta commit.
Like it was literally like Step Brothers, and they saw them shirts and they're like, oh fuck yeah, we got to roll with these.
Yeah.
I love that.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
it's
be
pretty
surprised
cool.
if they break them out again at some point. You can't do it
That
every
is
week, but
that is the definition of dudes just being dudes, and I love that shit.
Yeah, I think Philly should probably win this one.
yeah, I think it has the chance to be like good, but I also kind of feel like I won't be surprised if it's not either. So
I wouldn't. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be surprised. Phillies should win, but Sirianni's going to do something stupid.
I mean, he always does.
It's been a while since he's done anything that's really grabbed headlines.
That's fair.
And this is a game that y'all should win handily, and he'll do something really, really fucking dumb.
Oh, probably. Or we'll win handily, and he'll still do something really dumb to give us something to talk about other than them winning. So
yeah,
because that's usually
just my gut. I'm not wishing any ill will because I'm not like you two. I'm actually gracious and all. So
it's just
my gut feeling.
Feeling.
Yeah, gracious and kind like I am.
Okay, well, I mean, not everyone's the full package, so.
Yeah, so against the Rams, I'm looking right now at the running backs versus the Rams this season because
doesn't even
going
matter.
off?
Of course, Saquon's going off.
James Conner has the most yards against the Rams this season with 122, and then DeAndre Swift is behind him. If that should tell you everything you need to know.
So Saquon 150 plus.
150 plus, yeah. Probably.
Although I will say that
they'll stop him, and then he'll fucking catch like 4 screen passes for like 2 something.
It honestly feels
whatever I don't bet on
an AJ Brown type of game compared to Saquon. I feel like if I had to guess, the Rams are probably going to sell out to try to stop Saquon, which is definitely a mistake because the Rams pass defense is not good, and so don't be surprised if you see AJ Brown running his crossing route across the route for 50-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
They're still trotting out Tre'Davious White like Joe Biden at a fucking press conference. Like it's pitiful.
Yeah, I mean,
just stop the madness.
That's kind of my thing with this game. Just with their O-line being as pretty questionable as it's been all year. If they don't get out to an early lead and the Eagles get to pin their ears back, I don't know, man. It could get ugly. Stafford's a good quarterback. They have good weapons, but their defense is not good. I mean, the Eagles stop themselves, though. That's how the game stays close, is they just constantly refuse to score points in the first quarter. They do all this. I mean, they only had 6 points in the Thursday night game in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden they break off all these points. But that's bad. If they lost that game all week, everyone's like, what the hell's wrong with the offense? The reality is the offense isn't playing nearly as well as the defense is, which is pathetic because the defense is all rookies and the offense is where all the money's at. But they need to get it together. I need to see it from the offense this week. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little concerned.
Fair.
Yeah, this will be another. I'm sorry, I just envision another Jags game. Should be an easy one. I won't. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this to you. That's what. It actually does hurt me to say this because I don't wish this upon my worst enemy, but I just envision you should have beaten the Jags, but the Rams is going to be a little bit of a closer game, but you should still win, right?
You would think.
Sirianni,
assuming our kicker can kick kicks, that would be cool.
Just like I've got Bo Nix, Justin Herbert, and Mahomes to worry about, and I've got nobody. And you're like, oh well, that's your curse. Your curse is Nick Sirianni, and he's going to show up. I'm sorry.
We will see. The over-under on that's 49. Philadelphia is favored by 3 points. In case you were wondering. I think Philly should win that. I mean, yeah, the Rams I just feel like they're
just like a very average team.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah.
Like they have good coaching, they have some good players and spots, but the rest of the roster is just like young and I guess if Tre'Davious White's back there, maybe not so young. But
yeah.
Yeah,
There's also
the
no Aaron
median
Donald.
age gets bumped up.
Yeah, exactly. There's no Aaron Donald anymore. Even not that he was ever a concern for us because Kelsey shut him down every time we played them. Ask Aaron Donald, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm worried every week. They could be playing the Giants, and I'll be worried just because that's just how I am.
Totally fair.
Imagine being the guy that gets to brag about that for the rest of your life. Be like, the most dominant, arguably defensive player you've seen in your lifetime. I used to just fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Literally, Aaron Donald's on film talking about how much he hated playing against the Eagles because of Jason Kelsey. Like, he has never recorded a single sack against us.
That's fucking insanity.
It's a thing. Like, look it up. They
Wow.
literally shut him down.
I won't. I believe you, but
Yeah. That's crazy. See that the Rams are 5-5, so they would go to 5-6. I'm just looking at the San Francisco's 5-5.
Yeah, they're all
Man.
the same.
Oh
None of
my
these
God.
games for the NFC West are like must wins because every team's so bunched up.
Except
Reality
for
is-
the fact that Arizona and Seattle play, which if Arizona wins that,
Then
that
they start to separate a
really
little bit.
starts
Yeah.
to give them a little some separation there. That puts them 2 games ahead of everybody.
That division's just so like if you asked me, I couldn't tell you. It's so unpredictable. Like because I don't believe in the Cardinals either. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I don't really believe in like any of
Like
them.
I feel like the Seahawks like aren't actually that good. The 49ers look just cooked. The Rams are just like very average, and then the Cardinals I just don't really know what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, for my money, it's either going to be Stafford or Geno. Kyler's not having a bad year. I've said before, I think it wasn't the last show, but the one before, but I've been really impressed by Jonathan Gannon and the way I think they're just being coached to a level up above their fucking talent by a mile, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They don't have DK Metcalf. They don't have Puka. They don't have fucking Cooper Kupp. I just think that's going to be the difference maker in that division down the stretch.
So you're saying you like who? The Cardinals and the Seahawks?
No, the Rams or the Seahawks.
Oh, the Rams
I
and
would
the
think.
Seahawks. Rams and Seahawks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
Then Seattle's going to have to win this game to keep it like competitive, which they could.
Absolutely.
I think
Yeah.
it's in Seattle too, so I think
It is. Yeah.
that'll be they need to win that game. Like they definitely need it more.
It's in Seattle. Arizona's only favored by 1 point. So pretty much an even line there. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah, they don't know.
I really think that the Niners could probably lose to Green Bay though, so I feel like
They
they
definitely
probably won't
could.
move
My
a needle.
biggest thing with that one is like maybe I'm just stuck in the past whenever Aaron Rodgers just could never beat the 49ers, but I feel like the 49ers always just own the Packers, regardless.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, who knows what Purdy's going to show up and if McCaffrey can make it through the whole game. And
Yeah.
Well, he made it 1 week, so you're 0 for 1 on that prediction, but we'll see.
we'll see.
Oh, then we got.
I believe you said he didn't even make it to we wouldn't make it to the first half last week. So
Did I say that?
I forget a lot of things, and I'm very stupid these days. But I don't know. I feel like
If
that
I
came
said
out of your
something
mouth.
asinine, you're like, yeah, that shit's locked in here.
Well, that would be something. I'll forget my electric bill, but I can remember you saying that.
Gotta
That's
remember
the reason he
important
didn't
stuff,
take him
right?
on a parlay.
Fair enough.
Like George Pickens.
Anyways, Monday is Baltimore and the Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to destroy them.
You think they're going to destroy them?
Yeah, I really
that's
do.
bold.
I think the Chargers are they're looking good. I mean, both teams have the same record right now. I think that the Chargers are going to look really good against them. I think they're gonna. I think that the Ravens have lost enough and had enough games where they are basically it's on the tape how to beat them, and I think the Chargers are well coached, and I think they have a chance to just I just think that they're gonna crush them. I really
I
do.
mean, you could be right. I definitely think it's going to be close, but
Yeah.
I think Jim Harbaugh. I think Jim has had enough of hearing from John at Thanksgiving about that time that he beat him in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, pretty much.
I actually I believe I'm 100% with Carly. I think this is those guys in fucking LA are behind Jim
in
Harbaugh,
other words,
yeah.
you say that
and
this is
it's
going to be the Chargers Super Bowl, basically.
pretty much.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and this is going to be they're going to be so charged up because they're Harbaugh's fucking psychopathic ass is going to be in that locker room being like,
For
I
sure.
want revenge. I want to fucking give my brother a welcome back. Like I'm
Yeah.
here. Fuck you.
Yeah.
And those guys like literally they ride for him. They're going to be like fucking hell yeah.
You could be right.
I don't think the fucking Ravens are going to see what hit them. I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I won't say it's going to be like the reverse. When we beat the fucking Chargers like 63-7, but
Yeah.
I could see this one getting fucking out of hand in a hurry. I don't know why.
Yeah,
We're just trusting my gut this week.
Yeah, that's my gut just tells me. I just think
Okay.
that the Chargers are gonna win. I mean, Baltimore's favored by 3 points in this game, but I just
I
have
feel
a
like
feeling that the Chargers are just
Well,
looking
I
better.
mean, just imagine you haven't coached in the NFL since 2016 or whenever that was when the Ravens and 49ers met.
oh, it
And
was
every year
longer
you got to
than
hear,
that.
you have to, like us, just imagine, you have to hear from your older or younger sibling, just like, oh yeah, remember that time we got to the absolute peak of our profession and I fucking beat you? I would treat every time I played the motherfucker like a Super Bowl. I would ban my players like, I want you out for fucking blood.
You're
Like,
not wrong. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. You just like you look at Baltimore and they're 7-4 right now. Like they would be 5-6 if they lost just the games to the Bengals that they should have lost.
That's fair. My biggest
Like-
thing with the Chargers is like I watched the fourth quarter of that game and they were begging the Bengals to win that game. They were trying so hard to lose, but the Bengals just
That's
couldn't
Chargers
take it from them.
football.
And I'm just like, I don't know. Like the Chargers find
Yeah.
ways to keep. I get it's a different regime. Brandon Staley's not there anymore, and like they do feel like a complete different team this year. But they still like I don't. There's just something when I see Justin Herbert on the sideline, I'm just like I don't know.
Yeah.
They're just gonna find a way to keep it close somehow.
Yeah.
I've watched them long enough. I like my Bo Nix take earlier about him being better than Herbert at the end of it. They're cursed. Like even when they look good, they're like that's what you're seeing. Is you're like something's not right. Something's going to happen.
There were
It's-
multiple drives in that game, like last Monday or wherever it is that they played, or Sunday night, that the Chargers just kept going 3 and out, and that's how the Bengals kept getting back into the game. And even in the fourth quarter, like it took them to like the last drive of the game to get the go-ahead score. Like they were just begging the Bengals to win that game. Like if the Bengals could have just kicked field goals, they would have won the game. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, we shall see. Football tomorrow.
Y'all think maybe we should just start trying to be field goal kickers?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, my kicker couldn't kick to save his life. Tucker can't. He's cooked. Who else had a horrible week kicking? Somebody else did.
It's somebody different every week. I feel
It
like
is, yeah. Like it was.
I know it's a generous salary upgrade from what I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
and I think it's easier, to be honest. I don't think it's that hard.
Until you miss a
Yeah.
kick and then everyone wants to murder you.
Doesn't matter. You still get paid.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I'm already everybody already wants to kill me after they meet me, so it's nothing really new to me. I mean,
Yeah.
You'll just be making more, so it'll be fine.
It was really funny.
yeah, I'll wipe away my tears with my $100 bills. Oh
That's
no!
right.
It was really funny after the Steelers game. Justin Tucker in the locker room, basically complaining about like the surface of the field, like not being like
This
ideal.
motherfucker has
It's
played
like-
there how many times?
How many times have you played there, brother?
What do you mean the surface of the field? Literally, Boswell just kicked 6.
Honestly,
fuck
I don't
you,
even.
bro.
Both kickers were like struggling, but just him, man, bro, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but this is not to use analogies again, but this is the equivalent. I don't think he's actually washed up. He's got like a mental
Got the
issue
yips.
going on with his
You have the
mechanic.
yips. You
A
never know.
golfer will never admit, like your buddies will look at you, bro, like, bro, you got the wedge yips or something. And it's like, no, I just got this weird thing going on. And I was in perfectly like, oh, that was a weird surface there.
Yeah,
like you'll blame anything except the
Yeah.
fact that you are in your own fucking head.
Yeah.
And that's where
Right.
he's at.
Yeah, I remember Boswell's yips year. That happened a while ago, and
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
he was like, I'm pretty sure he like made like less than 50% of them. And
yeah.
now, like Chris Boswell, I don't know if you saw the thing that I sent in the chat of Chris Boswell being like, if he were in fantasy in like any other position, like if he were a wide receiver and scored the same amount of points that he scored this year, he would be the wide receiver 6 on the season with the
I
amount of
believe
points that he has scored.
Kickers matter, huh?
Yeah,
I believe he's the
we
most
got a good one.
accurate kicker of all time from 50 plus as well.
Yeah, he's out of his mind, and that's with his yips year. It's because
Exactly.
that was, I mean, that was
Well,
terrible. I don't even think he made 50% of them in that year. He was terrible.
Yeah, that was the year that might not have been the
They started
Terrell
bringing
Pryor.
other guys in for like competition to try to get him to like get out of his head, and it just did not. He just was terrible that year, and he's been great ever since. Thank God we didn't get rid of him.
Yeah, that was that year that we beat you guys because he missed like 2 or 3, and then he had that horrible like botched
Oh yeah,
onside attempt. And everybody, including Steeler fans, were making like Charlie Brown memes about him, being
yeah,
like, "Get rid of this fucking guy,"
yeah,
just like Tomlin. And now, like, he will never have to buy a drink in Pittsburgh ever
yeah,
again, unless he fucks up next week.
I was
yeah,
gonna say, you say we're talking way too much about a kicker. He's gonna do something stupid tomorrow, I'm sure.
yeah. We'll see.
Asterisk.
All right, well, I think that's pretty much it for this coming week. Was there anything else you guys wanted to touch on?
I wish there were better games to talk about, but I feel like
Yeah.
a lot of these just like
Unfortunately, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, basically, we're getting a peek at the Arizona's. Yeah, like that division is gonna do possibly some interesting things finally, instead of all just being on equal playing field. But really, other than that, not much is really gonna come out of this. As a Steeler fan, go Chargers and fuck the Browns. That's all I have.
yeah. I feel
fuck the
like
Browns.
I'm
Bury
always
him
watching
deeper.
the time every week, and we literally spent 35 to 40 minutes talking about last week's games, recapping, and less than like 15
Yeah.
to 20 minutes covering
There's
this week's
just
games.
yeah,
Like,
there's just
not a
like not
lot.
really much to talk about for next week.
Yeah, bet the
so
over
many of
on the
these games are
Seahawks
terrible.
game. Bet the
Yeah.
over on the Steelers game, and Darnell Washington touchdown. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I'm looking at this, like the spreads even. Like the 1:00 game spreads are -6 Tampa Bay, -7.5 Detroit, -8 Houston, -7.5 Miami, -10.5 Washington, -11 Kansas City, and those are the 1:00 games. Like those are the spreads.
can you
Like,
humor me just real quick and do something?
what do you got?
Just do the over on the Browns game and a Darnell Washington touchdown, and then the over on the fucking Seahawks game, and just see what the odds are.
Just see.
I have to, and then win the show. I promise. I have to know.
Let's take a peek here. Over on the Cleveland game, Darnell Washington touchdown at +1,000. Listen, I mean, it's obviously probably not going to hit. That's why it's at +1,000. But
We said that about Samaje P. Ryan and many others, but if Jeff Junk decrees it, it shall be so. And I don't know. I don't know what god or shaman he prays to or how he does it, but
all right, let's go the over on the Browns game. We're gonna grab Darnell Washington, and then let's look at the odds on the over. For what'd you say? You want the
Seahawks and Cardinals.
All right, that's +2,500.
That's a moneymaker.
Just throw $10 on it, make $250 real quick.
Yep, easy. I take 10%. People, thank you. You're welcome.
All right, y'all. Well, I guess we will talk more next week. Maybe we'll have a little bit of clarity over in some of these divisions. That's pretty much the only thing that's going on this week. So
before we go, I'm just disturbed that it's week 12 already.
I know.
I feel like football season just started.
Like once it gets into the double digits, you're like, man, it's almost over, man.
Like November's almost gone.
Yeah, here we are in December.
Yeah, February's coming when football's over, and then it's just cold and shitty. And
nothing to watch.
And hockey and basketball's on. That's about it.
And hockey. Good luck with that as a fucking Penguins fan, right?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be watching.
They are
Neither one of you are in. At least I have March Madness because I'm a college basketball fan.
Yeah,
But
could
it's a bleak time. I will give you
It
that.
is. It's bad because I don't watch any other sport really. So
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we'll be on to recapping week 12 and talking about week 13 next week. Are the bye weeks finally done? No. Oh, they're not. There's
of
no
course
bye
not.
weeks
Why would they
next
be done?
week, but there is week 14, I'm pretty sure. A week 14 bye week.
There's literally only a couple games left after that damn bye
Yeah.
week.
There are no bye weeks next week. And then for week 14, Washington, Indianapolis, New England, Baltimore, Denver, and Houston all get a bye week.
That's a lot of teams that had to wait that
Yeah.
long. That's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
imagine being one of the teams that have actually made it that long and you get the break. And then there's teams that are literally just like, if you imagine a car, like they're rolling in on one wheel, like, bro, I'm dying here.
Like the NFL, especially if they like add another game, like they need to do like add a full bye week for everyone in the whole league. The whole league gets 1 week off mid-season, and like you just do like, doesn't the NBA do that where they just do like an all-star, like they do basically like Pro Bowl stuff where they're like hitting targets and just televise that.
Well, I mean, they still have an all-star game, but I mean, they're not going to do a Pro Bowl in the middle of the year.
Well, you know
And
what I mean. Just like have
I'm
a bunch
sorry.
of dudes roll up and
I'm sorry. I'm such a selfish bastard. And now that me and your dad are watching Formula One, the worst thing about F1 is you'll have like 3 or 4 races in a row, and then they don't do anything. Like that would be like football. You mean to tell me everybody at like week 11 we're just going to take a week off? We already take a week off between the fucking
like, never happen.
Well, actually, think about it. They've talked about, because everybody always wants that Monday off of the Super Bowl. If they did a week 11 bye and everybody got the week off, would that push it back so the Monday was President's Day and everybody had work off?
Yeah, I think it would.
We just solved everything.
Yeah, all the problems are taken care of now. Wow. Send it to Goodell. I'll fax it over to him.
Well, now we better trademark it or copyright it or something, and then ask them for money for it, because they'll just take it for free.
They'll just take it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
sons of bitches.
I'll fax that over to him. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna get off of here. Good talking to you, and we shall see how the parlays go this week.
Yeah.
Darnell Washington, baby.
Darnell Washington, free money.
Coming in hot. Alrighty, we'll see you next week. Talk to you guys later.
Peace, y'all. Ray Jones.